Howdy, Viperkeeper here in remote parts of New Mexico. I'm out here for Venom Week and had the opportunity to go look for Crotalus molossus in habitat with friends Abhishek Prasad, Gary Geiler, Wolfgang Wooster, and myself. They're on different parts of the hill. There's Wolfgang trekking up the mountain face. There's Gary. And Abhishek is somewhere below me. There he is.
How's it going?
He's pulling thorns out of his leg. All the fun that herping in the wild entails. Beautiful country. Really tough climbing for an old guy like me. But if we see anything interesting, we'll let you know.
Kind of wedged in there.
Is there a way to unhook that strap?
Well, this is the fruit of the effort of Gary and Wolfgang today. A beautiful Mexican blacktail. Look at her, isn't she a pretty girl? It is a she? Maybe.
Well, actually, the rattle does taper, so it's not fully grown. It's not fully adult. It's a young one.
Yeah, young. Nice looking. Huh?
Hang on, don't do it yet. He's beautiful. Or she.
Might be a she.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. There's a man.
From one strange place to another. Alien abduction.
It is. Clean. It looks like a captive, right?
She's nice and healthy. Look how fat her tail section is. Wonder what they feed on up there. Hey, Viperkeeper here in Albuquerque, New Mexico at Venom Week. Here we have our evening social, the first day. Heard lots of good science going on. And it's the who's who of the Venom world is here in Albuquerque this week. Let's go in and have a look and see who we can run into. Okay, over here, I don't know if you can hear me, we have Leslie Boyer, Dr. Leslie Boyer at the Tucson Poison Control Center, Julian White from Australia, and there's our good friend Brian Fry, who writes all these fantastic science papers and just does the most awesome stuff on the planet.
This is Brian's drug message. Don't buy drugs. Become an international Venom science holder, and they give them to you for free.
Woohoo! Thanks, Brian. There's Dr. Sean Bush of Venom ER. I had a chat with him earlier. Maybe we'll get him to talk to us on camera tomorrow. Hi, ladies. Let's see. Here's my friend Tim Cole from Designer Atrox. Howdy, folks. I don't know everybody. I just videotaping as I go along. And here's my friend Dana from Midwest Tons. I'd like to thank Dana for being one of the sponsors here. Produces the absolute best snake handling equipment available. I've got a lot of it on board at Viperkeeper's lair. Over here we have Professor David Worrell, snakebite expert extraordinaire. I consider him sort of the Yoda of snakebite treatment. He's treated more echis bites than than one can imagine in the most primitive conditions possible. And he's talking with Dr. Wolfgang Worcester, another friend of mine who writes these incredibly awesome phylogeny papers and keeps us all straight as far as taxonomy goes. In this group we have Dr. Steve Seifert looking away from the camera on the right, along with Terry Phillips, who you met before. Hi, Dr. Seifert. And Jesse Krebs from the Henry Dorley Zoo in Omaha. Viperkeeper here from Albuquerque, New Mexico at the International Rattlesnake Museum. Let's go inside and see what's slithering behind the glass.
Well, welcome to the Rattlesnake Museum. My name is Bob Myers. I have been the proprietor, the director of the museum for 19 years now. We house 31 different varieties of rattlesnakes and a lot of color and pattern aberrations here too. Quite a few other reptiles and amphibians that help tell the story, and lots of snake-related artifacts and artwork that I think you'd enjoy. Please come down and visit me. Thanks.
You know, I've been to Bob's museum here several times in my travels around, and it's an ever-changing environment here. And he has lots of non-venomous critters as well as our crotalus friends. He has some very nice abhorrent patterned animals that don't normally exhibit your standard patterns, like this partially striped Mojave. And this is your classic Mojave. Seems to be camera shy and is hiding behind the cacti there, or the petroleum-based plastic cacti. As Bob said, he has all sorts of, and sorry for the reflection, folks, but all sorts of snake and lizard memorabilia in art and all sorts of cool stuff. And I have to admit, I've got a lot of different things like this lying around my house.
50,000 people die each year.
This is the Timothy Leary Memorial Rattlesnake. A little corn snake.
South Africa, Donald Strider.
Sweet! Pig, 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 pig! Very nice display of many varieties of horned lizard here in the desert southwest of North America. Some of these I've actually had the opportunity to find in the field. And actually, when I lived in Tucson, I had a number of regal horned lizards on my property, and including watching babies hatch and stuff. Very cool. Here we have some desert critters, also the invertebrate collection.
There's all over the world. We're always asking for it. It's really great.
The only thing I don't have, I do have
A leucistic Texas rat. Look at this sweetheart. Look at those blue eyes. Looks like Master. This eye looks like Master Luke on the old Kung Fu series. Ah, grasshopper.
You have a desert? Oh, the black tongue. The black tongue.
So look at this little sweetheart, a mottled rock rattlesnake. I know all my friends over in Europe are going to go really drooly on me, and they have good reason to. Bob's collection of rattlesnakes here is just legendary. Look at the intense stare. Look at the pupils dilation on that little girl. It's fantastic.
So this isn't your Venom.
Here's the banded rock. Unfortunately, it's hiding way in the back. How long have these guys been here?
Okay, these guys, well, this one's just been on display maybe a year. We had another one that was about 25 years old that just died. And then this Eastern we just put on display, which is why this is here.
The last time I was here, you had a canebrake and you had a big Eastern like this in the same cage. And I was here taking pictures, and the big eastern came up, and I got a really nice headshot. But while he was doing that, he sort of whipped his tail over and pooped on the canebrake. So I thought that was like, hey, you know, I'm the star here, buddy. Get back.
This guy's just on display for the time being.
Nice broadband copperhead Kisterdon group. Canebrake through the glass cam. Beautiful shot of the apical pit. Fantastic. Here's your local beautiful blacktail rattlesnake that's found in these areas. Just stunning. Here's a South Pack, a Helleri, which is turning out to have some really interesting twists to its venom. Dr. Sean Bush will talk about that tomorrow at Venom Week with an awesome presentation, I'm sure. This is a aquatic Gila monster. It's a very rare species here in the desert, only because water is very rare. But occasionally they even do like to take a swim. You know, here's his collection of all sorts of snake liquors and hot sauces and all sorts of cool stuff. I told you he's got all sorts of really cool potions and stuff that people say. Here's snake bite and green mambo, diamondback beer. I don't see my all-time favorite crate beer. Oh, look at this. Isn't this cool? Komodo Dragon Pale Ale with the droolies. Love it. Oh, and in a can from the Denver Zoo. Now that's shameless advertising. Somewhere in here is a stealth Costa Rican rattlesnake, probably a Siamese. Here's a northwestern tropical Siamese cominatus. Hello. And then here's it doesn't look like a tiger, but it is. Tiger rattlesnake. Tiger rattlesnakes have a very small head, primarily lizard feeders, and they've got one of the most potent venoms that rattlesnakes possess. Very difficult and very rare in collections because it's a protected species, and you very seldom see any available on the market, especially females. Oh, look at this. Nice little Siamese. Oh, these are really cool. Very hot too. I bet a lot of my friends in Europe would like one of these, a midget faded rattlesnake, which I believe is concolor. Yes, I'm correct. Very hot little guy. There's been some very interesting envenomations by this little character. Exceptionally rare in collections and probably protected. Only found in a very small geographic range in mostly Colorado, southwestern Wyoming, Utah. Very cool animal. And Arizona black. Very, very nice animal. Right. Here's a very much overlooked rattlesnake, a prairie rattlesnake. People don't give this animal as much respect as it deserves. It's super hot. and super cranky, and we'll put one on you in a heartbeat. These are the guys that you usually find in very large mass dens, hundreds and hundreds of animals.
Here we go.
It's like this, officer.
You know, here's another animal that make all my European friends drool. This is a Hopi rattlesnake. This is Nuntius. These were the animals that the Hopi Indians used in a ceremonial ritual, where they put the heads of the rattlesnake in their mouth and sort of danced around with it. Now you think I got big kahunas, those guys definitely are in my book of respect. Hey, look at this! We have a desert horned viper. How about that? Hey guy, you out here visiting your cousins, huh? The good old North American sidewinder, desert sidewinder, Crotalus cerastes, and this happens to be the subspecies Lateroripens. Now, people say, you know, do you have any sidewinders? Well, yeah, actually, I've got lots of sidewinders. Sidewinders is a locomotion, a type of locomotion that snakes commonly use, especially in desert terrains, which allows them to cover territory really fast. Yeah, this one guy is known as a sidewinder, but there's plenty of other animals in other parts of the world, like this cerastes, that use sidewinding as locomotion. Two different species in different parts of the world. Convergent evolution. Here's a beautiful Panamint. This is Crotalus mitchellii Stevensii. My friend Paul, who lives out in this area, produces some absolutely stunning Panamints. And generally some of the offspring are available if you know where to look. Another one of my favorites is Southwestern Speckled. Hey Rob, you know, I'm sorry, you still have the winner of the contest here. Nobody, this is a beautiful little animal, but nobody compares to that one speckled that you have as your avatar. Man, that snake rocks. Here's a melanistic Crotalus atrox. You know, these guys are very used to having people gawk at them all day. They're hardly taking notice. And this is my all-time favorite rattlesnake of the desert southwest, and that's Crotalus ruber, the red diamond rattlesnake. They're actually reported to have, you know, relatively placid dispositions and result in very few bites, mostly by people who have them in their collection. Very, very beautiful animal. Oh, look at that! It's actually a northern Pacific rattlesnake, Crotalus oreganus, and like some other rattlesnake species that I know of, he seems to like to hang in his trees there, and that might be an indication that in his native range that he likes to do that also. Certainly, I know the timber rattlesnake in the Northeast, especially from accounts from people doing studies in New Jersey in the Pine Barrens, they find them in timber rattlesnakes in the trees all the time, which is very disconcerting. As one investigator told me that he stopped, he was sort of disoriented, he turned around and he was nose to nose with a timber rattlesnake. I would find that very disturbing also. And here's an albino amelanistic atrox, which is just sort of bleached out. Here's a hybrid. This is a Crotalus viridis versus Crotalus atrox cross. You know, this probably certainly happens in the wild, but it's really one of those unintended things. You know, I don't believe in doing this on purpose. Some people do, but you know, that's my opinion, and they certainly have theirs. And here's a striped western diamondback. Very cool looking animal. Certainly these guys are not terribly friendly, and you certainly want to get bit by them. I've run across a number of them when I lived in Tucson, actually probably the most common rattlesnake down there. And some of them are just so perfectly camouflaged to their particular terrain that even I almost stepped on them. Here's a coach whip, which is another snake of the desert southwest, as well as a couple of normal phase western diamondbacks in there hiding.